back to the Student Lawyer. I'm Anushna, and today I'm going to be talking about how to write a legal cover letter. I'm going to start off by going through some general tips and then explaining how you should structure your cover letter and going in detail of what to include within each section. So when applying for a training contract or vacation scheme or any other legal opportunity, usually a cover letter may be the first part of your application that the law firm considers. Some recruiters will want you to upload your covering letter as part of an online application, and other law firms may want you to upload your covering letter alongside your CV. There are three main points of a covering letter. The first is to demonstrate your knowledge of the law firm and the wider legal sector. The second is to elaborate on your key skills, experiences and characteristics without just simply repeating your CV. And the final point is to explain why you aspire to work for that organisation. My first kind of general tip is to make sure you're not repeating what's already written in your CV. If you're uploading your covering letter as part of a larger application form, you should avoid repeating examples you've already used to answer questions on the form. Give as broad a picture of your skills and experience as possible, and only repeat something if you think it's particularly significant to that law firm. As your covering letter will probably be read first, it's more of an introduction to get the recruiter's attention, rather than your overall application, which would go into more detail about each skill and experience. Secondly, in terms of length, a covering letter should be a maximum of about a page, and that's with a font size of 11 or 12. I'd say to just keep it as simple as possible in terms of format, and just as easy to read as possible. And the final tip I have, it sounds really obvious, but make sure you proofread your cover letter before sending it off. Once you've finished writing your cover letter, don't be tempted to rush it off. Ask friends, family, his advisor at your uni to check it. Because there are so many applicants for vacation schemes and training contracts, there's really no room for small mistakes such as spelling errors or grammatical errors, as this shows a lack of detail and that it's just kind of been rushed through. And remember that law firms will be judging your ability to communicate professionally with clients, and they can judge this from the professionalism of your cover letter. If you've got loads of spelling mistakes and grammatical errors, it might just put them off. So the first paragraph of your cover letter should be the introduction. This is very brief, only about 2 or 3 sentences. And so this is where you introduce yourself, explain what stage of your degree you're at, university you're attending, and what opportunity you're applying for and where you found the opportunity. To start your cover letter, you should try and find out who you're addressing, and if you can find out the name of the recipient you're addressing, make sure you sign off the letter with yours sincerely. If you don't know the name and you have to use dear sir or madam, make sure you sign off the letter with yours faithfully. Your second paragraph should be about why you want to be a solicitor or barrister, and why that particular firm. You can highlight any experiences you've had that have convinced you that you want to be a solicitor and go down the field that you want to go into, for example, vacation schemes, open days, insight days. You can even mention mini pupilages here or any other commercial experience, as this will show that you've made the effort to compare the two sides of the legal professions and have truly picked the one that you want to go into. Before you start writing this section, make sure you thoroughly research the firm you're applying to. You should discuss why you want to apply for the opportunity at this firm in particular, and you could mention your interest in a specific practice area that they do, or some recent deals or cases that they've worked on that interest you. Don't be afraid to mention that you've done work experience at other firms as well. This won't show a lack of commitment to the one firm or anything like that. It just shows that you're trying to get as much experience as you can, and that's always a good thing. Make sure you're honest. Discuss the job responsibilities that you're excited about, and try and demonstrate your enthusiasm in an original but appropriate way. And above all, as I said before, take time to understand the organisation in depth, where it's located, who it works with, how its training works, and its work culture. If you're applying for a training contract, make sure you understand how the seats work in the law firm. Some don't have compulsory seats, and some don't really have a structure at all. And explain what it is that appeals to you about a more structured or a less structured training structure, and why you're a good fit for it. The next paragraph should be highlighting why you're a good fit for the law firm. This is essentially you pitching yourself to the recruiter as to why you're suited for a career as a solicitor and in that law firm. So you can do this by highlighting achievements. Show that you have the competencies that the firm has asked for. Don't just say, I have good communication skills. You should back this up by mentioning an achievement that hinged on using one of those skills. You can also tie your work experience and extracurriculars to the skills that the firm is looking for. For instance, if the person's specification is good public speaking, make a point of how you have experience in mooting and debating. You shouldn't ever make a claim without substantiating that claim, essentially. Also, don't try and mention everything you've done. As I said at the beginning, this is just a cover letter. It's more of an introduction. You should go into more detail in your CV or in the application form. All you need to do here is just elaborate on some of the relevant experiences in your CV and show what you can bring to the firm. Although it's important to highlight yourself and show your best achievements, be careful not to exaggerate. It's important that you're honest, as any lies could be easily detected by a recruiter. So finally, to end your cover letter, you should close by referring the recruiter to your CV or application and stating your availability for interviews or assessment centres. Be polite, say thank you, and that you look forward to hearing from them.